Alright, so I was able to get my hands on an iPhone 4 for a few minutes and thought I'd give a quick first impression. The hardware is great. It feels very good in hand. It is significantly slimmer than before as far as, thickness goes. So that's really awesome. Build quality is good. The Retina display, it looks really good. Having been away from iPhones in general for a while, I necessarily didn't notice the difference right away, but it is a great display, probably second to none. So pretty cool on that front. The multitasking is awful as far as how you go about switching apps and etc. And one thing that after I got done, checking out the multitasking, as far as how you change apps, both Android and Apple, sort of their thing is when you interact with the home button in some fashion. On the iPhone, you double click the home button. On Android, you press and hold your home button. And Apple, it brings up, the little stripe across the bottom. And, what I was thinking when I did that was, why doesn't Apple pull up like a home screen pop-up that would be able to list more apps? Because the way it is now, when you pull up the multitasking, the apps that are currently open, there's 4, and you scroll through 4 at a time. And if it kind of popped up as like a home screen where you've got a bunch of icons, 16 icons, I think, you'd be able to see a lot more. And the same thing with Android. Android shows you your 6 previous applications. Why not, 9 or 12? But anyways, thought. But having to manually remove each program, basically task killing it. I mean, and I'm not sure, if iOS 4, when it saves the state of your program, is it writing it to hard drive? Is it going into RAM? I'm not sure, how it allocates that space, but it just seems like it could be so much more, and they could have done so much more with multitasking. I mean, they've got it set up pretty well for people who've always had an iPhone and were just like, I've never been able to listen to Pandora or, download something in the background, task completion. So it is, that stuff is pretty cool. But like I've said before, if you've got an Android phone and you're used to doing a few certain things, you won't like it. And the person who has the phone, I was laughing with, and I said, if you took a first generation iPhone, an Edge iPhone, and an iPhone 4, put them side by side, you'd be hard pressed to tell the difference if you were just looking at the screen and basically interacting with it. I mean, there have been changes, but it's all still the same, and that's good and bad. It's good for people who have had it from day one, are going to be able to jump right in and know how to use everything, but it hasn't evolved. I mean, to say that you've had a phone out for 3.5, 4 years, and you haven't changed the UI or notifications at all. I mean, and he was laughing, and he said, do you think they hold stuff back so that they have stuff? He was talking about folders, and he said, folders are really awesome, and then you realize they should have had this all along. And I couldn't help but laugh. And it's like, well, they've hired Palm's notification guru, so maybe they'll improve. But they're selling enough phones, it doesn't matter. So I guess it really, do they want to sell a lot of copies, sell a lot of units, and have a subpar product, or do they want to innovate? And they've been able to innovate on the desktop side. I feel like they're becoming the Microsoft of mobile. They're just kind of, yeah, well, we've got this big install base, so we can't really change things too much, so, let's not upend anything. And I feel like they need to reinvent their mobile operating system, and I guess they've got a year to do it, but it's pretty funny. But anyways, that's it for iPhone 4 first impressions. The only other big geek news is that tomorrow is the Palm shareholder vote on the HP acquisition. I expect that it will be a near unanimous vote. I expect it to be approved. So hopefully we'll start hearing about new hardware coming out of Palm, maybe WebOS 2.0 perhaps. But anyways, I'm hoping that the news will start flowing from HP Palm here after the vote is placed. But that's it for now. I'll talk to you guys later.